There are moments when you pause, in the middle of an ordinary day, staring into the mirror or at your phone screen, and quietly wonder, who am I? It's not a grand philosophical question. It's a genuine, bewildering feeling. You look at yourself, but no longer understand who that person is. You hear your name, but it feels like they're talking about someone else. You do everything you're supposed to do, your job, your duties, your social roles, yet inside, you feel hollow. Like an actor playing a role in a script they never wrote. You smile, but you don't know if the smile is still real. You say familiar things, but they carry no emotion. Day by day, you sink deeper into this fog of uncertainty, whispering to yourself, I don't know who I am anymore. This feeling doesn't come overnight. It creeps in slowly, silently, as you begin doing things to meet others' expectations. When you choose a job you don't love because it's what your parents wanted. When you nod through relationships you don't believe in because you're afraid of being alone. When you strive to be better, smarter, more perfect, not because you want to, but because you don't want to disappoint anyone. Gradually, you stop living as yourself. You become a shadow, a version shaped by expectations, obligations, and societal norms. You forget what you used to love, what you disliked, what once made you excited. And then one day, when there's no one left to please, you return to face yourself and find that you no longer recognize the person in the mirror. We grow up in a society that teaches us to succeed, to be reasonable, to hold ourselves together. From a young age, we're measured by standards, high grades, obedience, respectability. No one asks how we feel, what we want, or who we are. They only ask what we've achieved, whether we've made others proud. So we learn to perform. We take on roles, the good student, the dutiful child, the responsible employee, the ideal partner, the kind person. But in playing all these roles, we lose the most important thing, our true selves. And when the roles go on for too long, we start confusing the mask with the face. We lose the inner voice that once spoke clearly when we were children. Childhood is where many of the cracks begin. Some grow up in homes where emotions were considered weakness. They're taught to push through, to try harder, to grow up. These children don't have time to explore themselves. They're too busy trying to be what the adults expect. Others are constantly compared and told to be like your brother. Learn from your sister. Don't let us down. Some are never heard, every emotion dismissed, every desire seen as selfish. So the child folds into themselves, goes quiet, learns to live according to others. They may grow up to be good people in society's eyes, but they no longer know who they are inside. Losing yourself isn't just about not knowing what you want. It's about being disconnected from your real emotions. It's when someone asks how you feel, and you don't know how to answer. It's when tears fall for no reason. It's when you have everything others dream of: a stable job, a decent relationship, an enviable life, and yet you feel nothing, emptiness, disconnection, like a guest in your own life. And you blame yourself. Am I being ungrateful? Is there something wrong with me? No, you're not broken. You've just spent so long living for others that you've forgotten yourself. This pain grows heavier in a society that only values success. Everyone shares achievements, flaunts happiness, sets standards, buy a house before 30, get married before 35, travel, earn, shine. You feel like you're falling behind, like a failure even though you're doing your best. You compare yourself to others, forgetting they're comparing themselves to someone else too. In this endless race, no one truly wins. Everyone's just running without knowing why. Sometimes you feel like two people in one body, one doing what's expected, smiling, being responsible, the other exhausted and certain, whispering, why am I living like this? These questions aren't easy. No one teaches us how to find ourselves. We're taught to strive, to adapt, to fit in, but not to listen inward. No one ever said, if one day you feel like you've lost yourself, it's not failure, it's your soul crying out. Finding yourself again is not quick. It's a journey, confusing, painful, even hopeless at times. But it's necessary, and it begins with honesty, admitting you're lost. No pretending, no masks, just truth. That's the first step. Then comes listening to your body when it's tired, to your feelings when they ache or light up. Listen to the small desires you buried long ago. Maybe you once loved writing, art, nature, dreams. but life pulled you far from those things. Now, you can begin again, slowly. A journal entry, an afternoon alone by the window, a walk without your phone, one no when you're tired, one yes to something you truly want. Bit by bit, the pieces will return, and you'll realize you never really lost yourself. You just went silent for too long. Don't be afraid to change. Maybe your job no longer reflects who you are. Maybe your relationship suffocates you. Maybe your life feels like a skin that doesn't fit. Leaving those things isn't failure, it's honesty. Courage isn't staying in a life that kills you slowly. Courage is stepping out, even without knowing what's next. You don't have to rush. You don't have to find all the answers now. Just stay with yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be sure. You just need to be real. A little more each day, and you'll start to feel the heartbeat of your soul again. You'll remember who you were before the world told you who to be. And if you're feeling lost now, drowning in roles, tired of pretending, know this, you are not alone. Many others are just like you. They don't say it, but they too are searching. They too are learning to live truthfully after years of living correctly. Maybe you don't know who you are right now, but you do know what hurts you, what makes you smile, what moves you. Start there, with the honest things, however small, because you don't need to become someone. You just need to come home to yourself.